It's John, the Autoresponder Guy, coming to you from dropdeadcopy.com. We've got another video session today, and we're going to talk about a question. Now, I'm often asked, first of all, I'm a freelance copywriter. I live in Thailand. I'm currently going for my morning walk, just outside a place called Chiang Mai. Right? Now, I'm a copywriter. I work online. I make thousands of dollars every month, but I can live anywhere. I'm originally from Sydney, Australia. And I now earn more money, way more money than I need in Thailand. I could even move back to Sydney if I wanted to. Now, this has been incredible. And the thing is, I only started back in March last year, which is just under a year ago. Okay? And I believe that if I could do it over again, I could do it in a shorter period of time, maybe 9 months, maybe 6 months. Okay, so people often ask me, because they think that I've kind of gotten where I have fairly quickly. And so they ask me, so how do you do it? How do you become a freelance copywriter and make thousands of dollars every month while living wherever the hell you want? Right, so I can travel anywhere as long as I have a Wi-Fi connection. As long as I have a Wi-Fi connection, I can get work done. In fact, I don't even need the Wi-Fi. I only need Wi-Fi for the occasional Skype call and to check my emails. Now, it's really simple if you want to do this. It's a lot simpler than I ever used to think. Now, if I knew this before I started, I could have made this so much easier and cut the process into a much smaller period of time. There's 2 steps, and that's it. 2 simple steps to becoming a highly paid freelance copywriter, marketer, whatever you want to call it. Step number 1, you have to get good at writing copy. Now that's kind of like a non-negotiable. You have to be good at writing, because if you're not good at writing, most people aren't going to want to pay you to write stuff. Now, not only do you have to be good at writing, you have to be good at getting results. Yeah, that's really the main thing. It's not so much about writing, it's about results. You could be a bad writer. As long as you're getting results and you're selling stuff, most people aren't going to care too much. What's the best way to get good at copy? It's writing out sales letters by hand. So taking old school sales letters, grabbing a pen and a paper, and writing out the sales letter by hand, doing that once a day for about an hour, every day for at least a few months. You want to do it for longer than that. And then you also want to go and check out a post on Gary Halbert's site called Hands-On Experience. I'll link to that in the notes below this video. You go to Hands-On Experience, and he advises a number of different sales letters which you can get, and a number of books. Okay, these are old school advertising and marketing books. These are not the things you find in the top 10 at Amazon or the New York Times bestseller list. So you're going to read these books and you're going to write sales letters out by hand. Now, this is exactly what I did. This is literally how I did it, not how I think you should do it. Okay. Now, step number 2, once you have chops, once you know how to write and sell stuff via the written word, you need customers. Now, how do you get customers? Most people, they cold call, they advertise, they don't know how to do it really. Maybe they post a few blog posts, but I will say that the single fastest way for you to get started and for you to be making thousands of dollars a month as a freelance copywriter is to do what I did and do what people might call a JV, but at the time I didn't call it that. Go on someone's podcast, get interviewed by someone on a podcast. You could find someone with an email list and have them email out and say, hey, look, this guy's great, he's a really good copywriter, you should hire him to write your copy. Now, this works best if you find someone who has an audience full of people or prospects you want to write for. Now, this strategy, you could get going in, I reckon, 3 to 6 months. You could start reading these books and writing out sales letters by hand tomorrow. In 3 months' time, you'd be a decent copywriter if you did it every day and you really followed through. And then after 3 months, you start finding people. You start building relationships with people who have a market, who have a list, or who have an audience of prospects that you think you could do business with. And that's really it. Go on their podcast or go on their email list and just make them an offer. Give them some valuable information on how they can improve their website copy. And then tell them, hey, look, I can help you with this. I can write sales letters. I can write emails for you. That's really all there is to it. So you could do that in 6 months tops, if you follow the process. Like I said, this is how I did it. This isn't me saying how I think you should do it. So this works. I mean, it's worked. I'm proof. And I guess I'm not really on a tropical beach today, as you can see. There's no beaches up in Chiang Mai, but I mean, you could do that. You can live on a beach. I know people who do, and I spent a year in the Philippines living on a beach. You can live in the mountains. So the benefits are insane, and it's really not as hard. The first step is really believe it's possible. when I talk to people back home, my old friends from school and work, the main barrier that stops them is just believing that it's actually possible and that it's not as hard as it sounds. It's probably easier than a job. It's easier than having to put up with a boss every day. So, take that to heart. If you're interested in this kind of lifestyle, really give it some thought, because it's not as hard as you might think, and it's not as unbelievable, or it's certainly not impossible. And it is a hell of a lot of fun. You get to do what you want, you live where you want, you set your own schedule. It's just absolutely amazing. You feel incredible. So give it a think, especially if you have a job. And I'll see you next time. This is the Autoresponder Guy from dropdeadcopy.com with another video session. I'll see you next time.